Hey everyone, welcome back to Simply Explained. Today we're tackling a big one, Kubernetes. If you've ever wondered what Kubernetes is and why everyone's talking about it, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have a crystal clear understanding. No complicated jargon, I promise. So, what exactly is Kubernetes? In simple terms, Kubernetes is a system that automatically manages and scales containers. If Docker is the tool that lets you package your application into containers, Kubernetes is the orchestra conductor that ensures all those containers work together smoothly, efficiently handling how and where they run. Still sounds abstract? Don't worry, let's break it down with an analogy. Imagine you're running a huge food truck festival. You've got dozens of trucks, each serving different dishes. Some are super popular with long lines, while others are slower. Now, as the festival manager, your job is to make sure every food truck has enough supplies. Trucks can move to less crowded areas if needed. If one truck runs out of stock, another steps in immediately. You don't manually micromanage each truck. Instead, you hire a festival coordinator to make sure everything runs smoothly, keeping lines moving and food flowing. That coordinator, that's Kubernetes. Kubernetes does the same thing, but for containers. When you have lots of applications running in containers, Kubernetes steps in to manage how they're deployed, scaled, and balanced across servers. It ensures your applications stay up, even if part of the system fails. Before Kubernetes, scaling applications was a bit of a manual process. Developers had to deploy more containers, monitor them, and redistribute workloads when traffic spiked. Kubernetes automates all of this. It decides where to run containers, scales them up or down, and even restarts them if they crash. Here's why Kubernetes is a game changer. Scalability. Kubernetes can automatically spin up more containers when demand increases and scale them down during quieter periods. Self-healing. If a container crashes, Kubernetes restarts it automatically, keeping downtime minimal. Load balancing. It distributes traffic between containers, preventing overloads. Portability. Run containers across cloud platforms, on-prem servers, or hybrid environments. Automation. Kubernetes manages updates, storage, and scaling automatically. Let's talk about how Kubernetes works behind the scenes. At the core of Kubernetes is something called a cluster. This cluster is made up of multiple nodes, which are just servers. Some nodes handle the heavy lifting, running the containers, while others oversee everything. When you deploy your application, Kubernetes spreads it across these nodes, ensuring no single node carries too much load. If one node fails, Kubernetes shifts the workload to healthy nodes. This setup makes your applications resilient and super reliable. Now, how does Kubernetes know what to do and when? This is where the control plane comes in. Think of the control plane as the command center. It makes all the decisions about scheduling containers, scaling workloads, and handling failures. It watches over the cluster and ensures everything is running smoothly. The control plane has several key parts. API server, the front door of Kubernetes. This is where you or your team interact with Kubernetes by sending commands or requests. Scheduler. It decides which node should run a new container based on available resources. Controller manager. This constantly checks if the desired state of your app matches the actual state. If not, it takes action to fix things. etcd. A distributed database that stores all the configuration data for your cluster. It's the memory of Kubernetes, keeping track of everything that's happening. Together, these components ensure that Kubernetes operates like a well-oiled machine. So why is Kubernetes everywhere these days? Because as companies scale up, managing tons of containers manually becomes impossible. Kubernetes makes it easier, faster, and less error-prone. Oh, and if you're already using Docker, great news! Docker and Kubernetes work hand in hand. Docker packages your containers, and Kubernetes manages them. They're like peanut butter and jelly for the cloud-native world. If this helped you understand Kubernetes a little better, hit that like button and subscribe for more Simply Explained videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.